Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is Sunday evening. It is the 9th of July, and I'm here to give you a report on what I've been working on today. Today, I decided to stitch on one of my Christmas pieces because I had said I wanted to work on all of them, and I was trying to work on them as often as possible on either a Saturday or a Sunday. So, that's what I did. I did pull Kringles early and work on it Friday of last week. And then I worked on my letters and numbers because I was at a library stitching meetup yesterday and I needed something easy. So today I thought I want to get back on my Christmas pieces and get another one of them worked on for the month. And by doing that, I have 3 left of the 7 that I originally said I wanted to put some work into this month. So I'm doing well on schedule. It just so happened that this Christmas piece I'm using for 2 acrostics as well, so that's helpful. But this is what it looks like. This is Welcoming Christmas, and this is actually from a magazine called The Love of Cross Stitch, and it is a January 1996 edition. This was in my stash since then. But I have always loved this, and this was, as I've mentioned before, that's the first time I've ever seen an animal stack, but it was way back in 96, so that's not new, but there's been a lot of new patterns since then that are precious, but I love this one. So I've been working on it off and on, and I decided to work on it again today, and I put in 298 stitches. Now, I know you're thinking, well, Dina, why didn't you just do 2 more stitches and you'd have the even number 300 that you like to do? But this is not in my acrostic for 300. It wasn't required. And what happened with this one is that I wanted to do a certain couple of colors. I wanted to work my way across the cow. And let me just show you what I did, and I'll tell you my thought processes. So I had this dark top black stitching up here done. There's a gray in the middle, if you can see, and then a black below. So I had the top section of black stitched right here. And that's as far as I had gotten. And I did not have this color in here before. So what I decided to do was to work my way across doing all the colors that were not white. Because if you look in the middle of the cow, there's a big white section in the middle. And so I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll work the black spots first. Then I'll work the borders in these other colors that border the white, which is why I did this color here. And next I'll do, after I do this spot in the middle, I'll go and do all this bottom so that I'll have this that I can just do fill in back and forth. I'm setting it up to make that easy stitching because it's white and I want to be able to just fill it in so I can get a nice smooth rhythm and keep going. Now there's a lot going on over here. This color is the last underlying color before you hit everything. There are jingle bells here. There's a wreath of green and red ribbon, the face of the cow, and then there's a little chicken on the cow's head. All of that's going to be a lot of color changes, a lot of heavy color changes over here. So I think what I'm trying to do is work my way across to get to the bottom of the cow and go from there. This is the gray on top of the black. The black is the bottom of the leg. I haven't got that part in there yet, but I'm working my way from this side over. because this is going to be a lot more color changing, and I'll do that a little bit later. But tonight I was just trying to get a little bit of work on it so that I could push it forward just a little bit. I'm thinking this might be one that I could finish this year if I work on it through my across sticks every month. If I put at least, 300 stitches in it each time, I'm thinking I could probably finish it by the end of the year, and that would be great to be able to do that. So that was my stitching for today. Thanks for letting me share that with you. Today I spent time pulling together some little gifts that I want to take for my table mates at my stitching retreat that's coming up this weekend. And I did all my laundry so I could go through and decide what I'm going to take with me to wear. And then I will do some final decision making on what projects to pack. And I'll get them, probably pack them up on Wednesday because we fly out of here Thursday. So I'm very excited about going to the Stitch, New Jersey. I've not been ever. I think y'all, if you've been watching me long, know the history that I had signed up to go the very first year that Arlene had it. And unfortunately, that was when my son was having a lot of heart issues. And he wound up in the hospital that week. And he was in cardiac ICU, or cardiac observation, the day I was to fly out. I couldn't do it. As soon as I knew he was going to be in the hospital, I called Arlene and let her know I couldn't come, and she was quite gracious about it. And but I'm so delighted now that I get to go, and told my son this morning, this afternoon, when he left to go home, I said, I won't see you next weekend. I'm going to be in New Jersey. And he said, I'm so glad you're going to get to go there. I'm so sorry you missed the first one. But he couldn't help that. And so no guilt, no problem there. I'm just thrilled to get to go. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. So I'll let you get back to what you were doing, hopefully stitching. And I can't wait to share with you tomorrow what I get to do. Happy stitching, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. It's Dina. Today is Monday, the 10th of July, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my stitching so far today. I wanted to work on one of my projects that I can't take with me. It's on a scroll rod, and it is for 2 prompts, one in my Magazine Monthly Challenge group and one in the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. And you've seen it a lot lately because I have just become obsessed with it. This is my Autumn in the Country. And that's how it met. The first acrostic is that it has, in its title, it has the letter I for in. So Autumn in the Country. And then for my 24 Hours of Cross Stitch, I had to be a little more creative for that one. I needed it for the F. And that F was fall piece, as in autumn in the country. So it's a fall piece, and that's what I did. So today I did 284 stitches. This was not one that required 300. So I didn't set a number of stitches I wanted today. I did a little differently, and I set a goal. I wanted to do a band in the middle, and that's exactly what I did. I did the grapevine that's in the middle. And those grapes are Smyrna stitches. So 2 different colors of purple, just beautiful pop of purple in there. I think the Smyrnas are beautiful. You probably can't see them very well, but I can. They're so small, they're so tiny. Anyway, and then I went ahead and did the back stitching as well. I finished the entire band. So it is good to go. The next time I pick this up, I could start on the band of pumpkins. There's another row right in here of pumpkins. And then, hopefully by then, I could roll it up a little bit. There are some stitches out here, and it looks a little bare in there because there are beads to go in there. And I'm gonna roll it, so I don't wanna put the beads on quite yet. But there you go. 284 stitches, and I just think it's lovely. I'm loving this piece. It's beautiful. Very, very pretty. I hope you're having a great start to your week. This will be a short week for me here. I'll be leaving town this weekend for a retreat in New Jersey. Very excited about it. This morning I picked out my clothes, set everything aside to put in the suitcase. My husband will bring up a suitcase from the basement for me later tomorrow probably. And I started going through the projects I had set aside. I've got my 3 new starts for the 3 and 3, and then I have a couple more. So I don't know how many I'm going to wind up taking. I'll tell you that maybe by tomorrow. Anyway, I'm excited about it, as you can tell. Hope you are having a good amount of time for stitching this week, but whatever you're working on, please enjoy. Happy stitching. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. It is July 11th. It is Tuesday, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about stitching. Today, I wanted to work on another prompt, and I looked at what I had left, and I decided to pull out my Royal Games 1. I'm now working on the Queen of Spades side of it, of the card. And I'm using this for my magazine monthly challenge for one of the P's in hippopotamus in the acrostic. And that's because my fabric is pixie dust. And I'm using pixie dust from my Royal Games 1. And in my daily 30 group, which is the one I have to do 300 stitches, I had originally said that in the word recreation, I was going to use for that second R, Let Love Reign. But I decided today, since I was working on Royal Games 1, I would just go ahead and use Royal Games 1. I already have another prompt that I need to use Let Love Reign for because it's talking about something that you frog, and so I think I'll wait and use it for that. So today I had to get 300 stitches. I put in 319, and I'll show you kind of where that is on here. Here she is, or the 2 queens, I guess here they are. I finished her cape over here. I put 2 colors in there, and I do want to tell you something. The pattern does not have the explanation for the symbol for this middle color in here. It's a really dark teal blue right in here before you get to the gray. It's not there. In the pattern, it looks like a small Q. On your key, there's the key at the bottom, there is no small Q. I've already found one error up here where the symbol's backwards on the chart. This one is completely left out. I went to the errors in the Mirabilia website. It's not there, but there is no small Q anywhere. So what I had to do is look at the symbols and pull the colors for each one, look at each one. And when I got to the color that I thought was the closest match to what looked like on the picture in the pattern, and I looked at that number didn't have a symbol next to it. So that's one I used. Anyway, I will tell you what it is. It is 3808. And oh, they do have it on here, but they have it as a lowercase b. And they've turned the symbol upside down. It's like it flipped. It is actually the color. It may be B in here too, I don't know, but it's also the Q, the lowercase q. So if you're stitching this, just know that your lowercase q on your Queen of Spades isn't on your guide, your pattern, and it is the color 3808. So anyway, I got that finished. So that whole side of her cape is done. Then I came back over here and I picked up one of the other purples, and I started on down the side over here with that purple. And I got a whole nother color done in that section. And by that time I hit 319 stitches, and I said, that's great, I've hit my prompt. Now I will post it and we'll move on. So I'm very excited to do that. I get a chance to Zoom in a few minutes with my friends Lori and Dee and Donna. We're going to talk about the retreat coming up this weekend, what all we're taking, our final little plans for that, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So I will check in with you later, hopefully tomorrow before I leave town on Thursday. Happy stitching, everybody. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina, and I am here to talk to you again about my cross stitch for today. It is the 12th of July. It is a Wednesday, and I have been stitching off and on quite a bit today. I went ahead and looked at my prompts that I have left, and I really only have 2 more projects that I need to touch this month in order to hit all of my acrostics and complete them. And in the last couple of days, what I've been stitching on that I've already shared with you previously has helped me to complete one of my bi-weekly challenges in the Daily 30 group to wrap it up. And I have probably one more, I guess, in the one that just came out this past Friday to do. But again, I have 2 weeks to do it. So looking ahead, because I have some traveling coming up, I'm in great shape. I have one more Whip Go new start to do for the month, which is the July word play. And so I may wind up taking that with me next week to get that done. I don't know. That's a possibility. And then I have whatever the new challenge will be Friday, but I have 2 weeks to work on that. So I've just been working my way through, picking a new project that's going to hit a prompt or two and going to town with it, you know, just getting my stitches in. But I got interested in really getting some progress on one of them because, as you know, when I start getting close to a finish, I start really wanting to see it done. I just get this urge to work on it till it's completed. And I have made myself not do that because I had so many prompts this month because we had some very long acrostics in the combination of the 3 groups I was working on. So I wanted to make sure I got those done. But today, because I know I'm leaving for retreat tomorrow, I've already packed my cross stitch away to carry that with me tomorrow. And I thought, well, I need to stitch on something today that I'm not taking with me, but that I want to see progress continue on. And I thought about several different ones, but the one that's got my heart and my attention right now is Kringles. And so I've been stitching on Kringles now for about 2 days. I did, I think 4 different prompts with Kringles this month. I had 2 or 3 that I did in my Daily 30 challenge. In fact, I used one of my coupons that I earned in June that you can apply in July, and it was my Whip of Choice coupon, and I actually used it to replace the prompt with my Whip of Choice, and I went ahead and stitched on this again. So I did complete 3 or 4 different prompts in my challenges with this one. So then I came back up and I looked at my Magazine Monthly Challenge acrostic, and what I had originally chosen for the M in hippopotamus, I was going to do Haunted Mansion and let the M stand for the mansion. But then when I stitched on this for so long in the last 2 days and I had all these stitches, today I did 3 different three different prompts with it, but at the end of the day, I had stitched 770 stitches in this today. So I decided I wanted to make really good use of that. And I went back to the Magazine Monthly Challenge and decided that the M is going to stand for matching front doors, which are right here. And I went ahead and put that in, and guess what? It completed my Magazine Monthly Challenge. So I'm excited about that. I had mentioned when I talked about how I work my acrostics that at times I will change them when I've stitched something and realize it could work as well. I'll go ahead and change it so I get credit for those stitches, you know. And so that's what I did today. So I am working on this bottom row right here. And this room was originally slated for my August stitching because I've already finished my July, which was this right here, this room and this, finishing that. So I decided the best way to get this started was to kind of do the borders, because up here I did the walls first, you know, and I started working on that. And I got this border completed, and I started working a little bit on this bottom row, and then I thought, you know, I just want something that I can stitch. Don't have to count, don't have to work real hard on, and because I just want to get some of these stitches accumulated for all these prompts. And so I continued working over and doing the walls, the border, because it's all the same color. It's 844. I ran out of 844 today. I looked in my master set. I had already pulled it out to use in here, so it was my second skein that I had used. So I went to Hobby Lobby this afternoon and I picked up 3 more skeins. I don't need 3 for this, but I knew I was out in my master set. I need at least 1 for this, and I'm going to put 1 in my working pile. So I didn't want to run out again. So today I did a bit of stitching. A lot of stitching, actually, 770 stitches. Let me show you what it looks like now. So I'll try to remember what all I stitched on. When I picked it up today, I had 1 color of this one filled in. So I did the other color in there. I did all of this under here. I did these little 844 colors in here. I came over and completed this bottom so that I could do the colors that go in here because they're different. And then because this was the same color, I just kept going up and got the door, 1 door, done in that color, just that color. There's more to go in there. And now I'll have to mirror that right here for that door. And then I'll have to come over here and finish this. So as you can tell, there's a lot of border left. I've been invited to bring this with me to Alabama. People want to see it, and it would be great to work on, especially all the border. So I'm thinking that's what I'll do when I take it with me next week. And I don't know that I'll have any time to work on it before the Alabama retreat. But I certainly got a good start on that bottom floor going across here this past week for the last couple of days. So I'm very, very pleased with my progress on Kringles. And I'm really happy that I'll probably at the retreat work on more border all around because I got several rows to do down here, and then I can do that other door all in that color before I start filling in, you know, too much. And then by the time I get home where I can concentrate, I'll have all those little, you know, small little blocks of color to do all of the items in that bottom row. Here you have a whole bunch of dolls. There's the doll buggy and a bunch of dolls in here with a chandelier. Over here it's like a patisserie. You've got all kinds of confections and a matching chandelier here. And then on this side you've got just your light sconces, and you've got 2 reindeer, 1 on each side of the door, and then some greenery up here. This will be the easiest one to complete. So if I finish all of the outlining at retreat, I would work on this square if I was going to work on it any more than that. but I am planning on taking this with me to Alabama. I'm not planning on taking it to New Jersey because I'm flying to New Jersey, but to Alabama we're driving and I can put it in the car. So I've got room to take it. So that would be good. So we leave tomorrow morning. We'll be flying out tomorrow morning, hit New Jersey, go to the retreat. I'm looking forward to it. It starts at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and our flight leaves here at about 3:15. So we won't be there until about 5:30 or 6. I'm hoping around 6. So we're not too terribly late after it gets started. But that just worked better for our travel. Donna's taking an extra day off this week, Thursday and Friday, just so we could get there as early as we are. So I appreciate her doing that. That's a sacrifice on her part. So we're going to look forward to it together. We have a table to sit with. We're excited about that. We've been Zooming last night with some of our table mates, and we're looking forward to hanging out with them, stitching with them, and hope to be able to share some stories with you, some projects that I see, everybody's stories around the table of what they're working on, just see what everybody's willing to talk about and who's willing to be on video. But I try to stay in the moment when I'm at a retreat as much as possible. And that's why I don't bring a lot of footage home with me from retreats. A lot of them are still pictures where people have posed with me. But I just want everybody to be able to enjoy their time and not feel like that they have to worry about cameras, So we'll see. We'll see what we get to do. The good news is one of the ladies I'm sitting at the table with is a current floss tuber and one is a former floss tuber. And so maybe they'll feel comfortable getting in front of the camera and we can do something together. That would be fun. Whatever we do, I'll tell you all about it. I'll share with you what I stitch and what I purchase or what I get gifted. I understand that Arlene puts together some pretty good, swag bags. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited, as you can tell, because I can't seem to stop talking about it. But you understand if you've ever been to a retreat how exciting it is. And so, and if you haven't ever been, you definitely want to put that on your bucket list and go at least once in your life. It's worth it. Happy stitching, everybody, and I'll talk with you soon. Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Dina, and it is Sunday, the 16th of July, and I am here to talk to you about a retreat that I just went to. Went to New Jersey, to the Stitch New Jersey retreat that was sponsored by Arlene Cohen of Works by ABC, and she put that together with a group of friends that are her local stitching group. I mean, they helped her tremendously. She gave them lots of credit at the retreat for all that they do, and they put on a fantastic retreat. My friend Donna and I got to go. We arrived Thursday afternoon. It started around 3, and I think we were there by 6. We had to fly in that day. And so, of course, when you check in, you get your swag bag. And you probably have already seen some of these by now, but this is Stitch New Jersey 2023. And it has a zipper on the top, and it has a little pocket in the front. And when I flew home today from New Jersey, I packed everything in my suitcase except this. And I brought it with my wallet, with my ID and my boarding pass, and my stitching for the airport. And that's all I had in there. It was great. Anyway, let me show you a little bit more. Within our swag bag, we had another bag. And if you can see right there on the corner, it actually says Stitch NJ on the bag. And what you can see in here is the logo for the retreat that Arlene designed and gave us the pattern to stitch. And then in addition, in here, we have a wonderful waxer in the shape of a flower. We have beautiful silk from Susan DeBose, owner of Treenway Silks. There's Coco. She lets you know she's here. I have a beautiful green cry neck. We have an entire roll of finishing fabrics for our projects. And we had a list of attendees. So, and a schedule, of course, for the retreat. So I'll put that in here to keep it together. And kind of show you a little bit about my stitchy kindness that my friends gifted me at the retreat. So one of our table mates made us these beautiful project tags. Now this tag is to go on your project bag. A lot of the bags that don't have vinyl in the front, you don't know what's in them. And so there's a already a punched place for you to just break a hole in there, and you can tie that on or put it on with one of those little pins, you know, that you attach things to fabric with. There's a special name for them, and I can't think of it right now, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You can pin them on. A lot of people use them in finishing for pillows and things. I thought that was really sweet. We like that a lot. We got some floss drops from Kristen and Angie. They call themselves the New England Girls, and they said, hope you have a wicked awesome retreat. And all of their floss drops were nautical themed on the one I got, and it has a sailboat on it, so that was great. And I forgot one thing in our swag bag. This was also in our swag bag. This is the tin to put the topper on when you stitch it for the Stitch New Jersey. So we have our tin for fully finishing. We had a scissor fob that says Stitch NJ 2023. We also have a Stitch NJ 2023 needle minder. And we have a cute small pin cushion that's magnetized, made out of a lid of a bottle. And then we have a sweet little needle book, and it came equipped with counting pins. And look at my beautiful counting pins I have. I love counting pins. And then you have pages on the inside of the book that you can put needles in if you like, or this could just be your counting pin book, which is what I'm going to use it for. And we also got another corner gauge. If you have one, that'll be another one. If you don't have one, it would have been your first one. But I love it. It's beautiful. I love to have corner gauge for new starts. And so that'll be very, very helpful. And then, as I said, once you stitch the logo, you can put it on here, and you have your holder with your reminder on it, which is amazing. I received a couple of gifts from friends. My friend Nicole gifted me a set of Roxy, Leo and Roxy floss. I'm real happy about that. It was beautiful. And then one of my table mates, Lori, had made us a beautiful needle book, and it's got a pocket on the front and back, and inside here she's got some of the precious counting bins that look like little floss bobbins. My needle minder says but first coffee, and then another pocket in the back. And these beautiful fabrics came from a couple of quilts that Lori made, her granddaughters. And I don't know if you can tell it or not on the camera. Yeah, I think you can. These are quilted by Lori. So she made them and quilted them for us, fully finished these for us. And I think that's very special. Thank you, Lori. I love it. It's the perfect size. So I think I'm gonna wind up taking it with me in my to-go bag. I think that is where that's gonna live and travel. Lori also gave us chenille for finishing. She gave us each a little wooden applique there that we can use. So Lori spoiled us really well. My roommate also gifted me something. I went with my friend Donna, and she gifted me a set of Chantel's boards that she's made for finishing the hands-on design series of the Polar Plunge. And I've done one of those so far with my friend Donna and our friend Mary and her daughter April. And so I now have finishing boards. I told Donna, I said, I'm so glad you did that. I had thought about ordering them before I left, and I didn't have time. I'm so delighted that I got those when I did, so that I hadn't gone out and bought them myself. That was just really appreciated, so thank you, Donna. And then I had some lovely gifts that were from either the freebie table or people about to put things on the freebie table. So we'll start with what someone brought to me from the freebie table. They found it and thought I might like it. And it is a Dale Burdett book, and it's got Raggedy Ann and Andy little ornament-sized pictures. And I thought this was very interesting. These here on this side are the same pattern, but they've done them in greens and reds, so it's not even the traditional colors. I thought that was very cute and very interesting. And you know, I have a friend that collects them, so I put it in my stash for her. Then I got two patterns that one of my table mates was going to put on the freebie table, and they let us look through first. So I got Autumn Quaker. You know, I just bought spring last year, and I have it fully kitted, and I was waiting to get over doing the winter Quaker because these are intense stitches. But I will put this in my stash, and I will hopefully get it started in the coming future after my spring. Now the only one I don't have is summer. So always remember Plum Street Samplers. Lori, my friend Lori, Once Upon a Stitch, is stitching this. And when I saw her stitching this, I told her I loved it, and she said, I'll let you stitch it when I'm done. So when she saw this about to go on the freebie table from one of our table mates, she grabbed it up and she said, do you see what this is? And I said, yes. And she said, it's now yours. She grabbed it for me. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that so much. So I had gifts. My friend Donna and I made a table gift for our table mates, and we handed those out, and I think people enjoyed them. But then we also got to shop. Needleworkers Delight came there and had a pop-up shop. Their lease went up so high they couldn't afford it anymore, and they're looking for a new location. But the pop-up shop was a great opportunity for them, and they really did it up well, and I got a few things there. I knew that I wanted to look for fabrics. When you let me know I'm going to get to go to a pop-up shop that has fabric, I'm going to look at fabrics. So I just bought 4 little pieces, and the first one is a 32 count Lugana, and it is one of those printed fabrics. It's called Atlantis, and I think that's beautiful. I love the pattern. It really looks like water. If I were going to be stitching a Mirabilia mermaid, I'd probably use this for one of them. But I don't know what I will put on it right now. I don't have anything in mind for it, but I just love the color, and I love the pattern because it was different and unique to me. And then I decided to get an 18 count Ada because of the color of it. It's called Stormy Clouds. And I love that. That looks great. It would make a wonderful winter piece, I think. And this is a solo die. This is a small little piece of 32 count Molino. And I just liked the look of that for a small. And this is also Silk Weaver fabric, and this is a Lugana, and It is the only 28 count I bought, and I bought it to get the color. Isn't that beautiful? If I was doing the hands-on design scary apothecary, that's what I would put it on. And I may wind up doing that someday. You never know. So anyway, I think this would make a really pretty Halloweeny fabric. It might also make an interesting summer fabric, but I do think it's a little darker. Halloween came to mind first before anything else when I was looking at it. Then I want to tell you, one of the things that transpired at this retreat was a raffle. And the raffle was for donated items that were out on several tables. I think there were over 70 items. And you got 3 raffle tickets in your goodie bag, in your swag bag, and then you got to purchase additional tickets as you wanted. And all of the money for the purchased tickets, all of them, is going to be delivered by Arlene to a local animal shelter that they have supported a couple of times, and I think for every retreat that she's had. And she shared with us, Arlene shared with us, that last year when she delivered the check, the director just cried because she informed Arlene that summer's really hard on animal shelters because people don't adopt as readily, mainly because of vacationing and not being on a routine at home. They don't want to bring a new pet in and then go traveling and things like that. But also, it's not a time that people think about donations and charity. It's not Christmas time. It's not the holidays, you know. And so money is not readily available, but they usually have more animals than they ever have any other time of the year. So there's a strain on them to keep going. And last year when Arlene took the donations there, the director said, well, you've allowed us to survive through August. So that was very poignant. So today, or last night, when Arlene announced the amount of money that we were going to donate to the charity, it was more than they'd ever done before, and it was just delightful to be a part of that. So when you bought your tickets, you went and dropped a ticket with your name on it. Also, they were numbered, but having your name on it was easier for calling out the winners. But you dropped tickets into what you wanted to be take a chance on winning, and you could put as many tickets as you wanted in each bag of whatever you purchased. So I went and purchased a set of tickets, and I put my name in for several things, and I won one thing, and it was a pair of scissors, and my friend Donna collects scissors, and so I shifted that over as a little gift to her. But there was a bag, a project bag on that table that I know at least 5 tickets in. And I thought to myself, this is going to be so popular, I'm not going to get it. There's going to be so many tickets in here. And when they allowed us to go shopping the second day, we had not only the Needleworkers Delight, but we actually had attendees that had rented a table to sell the things that they make. And we had a list of who was going to be there, so you could kind of plan your shopping. Well, the lady who donated that project bag for the raffle had another one, and I bought it. So this is the bag that I picked up. This is the one I was trying to win and didn't, but I did win because I was the one that got it off the table. So this is PT Bags. PT Bags. And I have a business card of hers somewhere in all of my collection of stuff, but I wanted to share that with you. And then my friend Kim from Canada, who makes project bags, was there with her bags to sell as well, and I was so delighted. She had a special. If you buy 2, you got a special deal. So, you know, I love a special. So this is the first bag I got. This is my Sugar Skull bag. Very pretty. That will probably have either a Halloween project in it or a summer project because it's so springish. The colors are beautiful. And then I wanted another patriotic bag. And this one came with a needle minder. So that was wonderful. So those were my purchases. I didn't go crazy. I did buy 4 pieces of fabric and I bought 3 project bags. But basically, that was it. And I hadn't purchased much of anything this year, other than threads that I needed, something like that. So I'm really pleased with my purchases and what I was able to get at the retreat. So now I'm going to take a pause real quick, move this out of the way, and talk to you about my stitching. 3 and 3 means you had 3 new projects you wanted to start, or you had 3 whips you were going to work on, or you could do a combination. But I chose to do 3 new starts in 3 hours. So Arlene was really great about telling us, you have so many minutes to get ready, and then you would start, and then we got a notice from Arlene when it was halfway through, when it was 10 minutes, and then when it was, about a minute before we were to stop. And then once you stopped stitching, she gave you 2 or 3 minutes to get your Q-snap or your hoop, or, everything changed out. I had been given great advice by my friend Dee and my friend Lori to go ahead and put the first stitch in, because the amount of time that you take to count to where you're going to start, to find the center of your pattern or the center of your fabric, or count from the corner, all of that takes away your stitching time when you're in a crunch like that. And so we were allowed to put in a stitch to get started. So my first start of the night, and I need to close this up because I've got it on the pattern, was my casting a spell. I've been doing these 1 section at a time, and I decided to start this section. I felt like doing a border and lettering would be the easiest thing to do in a crunch situation like that, where I only had an hour, and I felt like it would go a lot further to do that. And so I got started. And I will just go ahead and tell you, I did 1 color of that box all the way around. And at the last, I stitched to the very last second, and I got the box done in 1 color. It's actually in 2 colors, but I got 1 of them completed. So later on in the weekend, after we completed the 3 and 3 and we did other things, and I was deciding what to stitch on, I decided to go back to this one and stitch a little more. And I actually stitched on it in the stitching room, and then I took it to the airport with me, and I stitched on it for about an hour at the airport while we were waiting to board our flight. So now I have finished Hello. I finished the other box at the stitching room the next time I stitched on it, and I let that be the goal. And then when I got to the airport, I started the word Halloween. So I got that much done. So now all I have to do to finish this word is wing. I still have it on the Q-snap. What does that tell you? I plan on working on that one maybe tonight. So I think that would be fun to try to finish it tonight if I could. And then I have only 2 left in that whole series, and I can put them in my box. The second thing I started in the 3 and 3 was the last of my hands-on design cranberry Christmas pieces. This is what the pattern looks like, and I've done the 3 smaller pieces, so I have this one left to do. And I'm doing it in the sulky pack. So I thought, well, that's an easy one to take with me. The threads are all there, everything's together. So I actually found where I wanted to start it, and I put in the first stitch, and then I took it with me and I got started. So that is BER from cranberry. So there you have it. I've got the first 3 here already, and now I have started the 4th one, and I'll put it away till I'm ready, probably to start on Christmas again. but I just wanted to have something that I knew I wanted to work on, I wanted to finish. You know, and this was the last of a series, so I thought that's good. I'll start on it now, and then I may work on it, you know, in December. And then I went on to Valentine's Day. So I had Halloween, Christmas, and now Valentine's. And I did them in that order because that's the way they occurred. You know, that's the calendar of them. So my last new start for my 3 and 3 was a Be Mine Always. It was a scissor tail design. And I was doing mine in a silk. So I chose a fabric that closely resembles what I have on the pattern. And I'm trying to find you the silk to show you the color. And I must have put it in my fabric. I did. I put it in my fabric when I threw it away. I had to quickly pack this one away, and it shows because it's all wrinkled up. I need to press it now. But I got the bee done. So I finished the bee. Now this is what I thought was funny. The first 3 and 3 I did the entire box. The second 3 and 3 that I did 3 letters. The third 3 and 3 I did 1 letter. Can you tell the fatigue gets setting in? It's interesting when you stitch 3 solid hours. You know, we took a break long enough to stand up and stretch and change projects, and then you just kept going. So you're stitching for a solid 3 hours. So if you've ever wondered if you slow down, I'd say this is pretty proof positive that I do. As I get fatigued, I slow down. So anyway, I love the variegation in this. I don't know if you can see it on camera the way I can in real life, but it's quite attractive. So I mentioned that I had stitched on another project before we did the 3 and 3, and then I stitched on it after we did the 3 and 3. In fact, I stitched on this last night. This is what I ended my stitching with at the retreat. And this is Heartstring Samplery's Sweet Land of Liberty. I think that's just beautiful. But I'm doing mine on a hand-dyed fabric by Stephanie called Meadow. It's a 32 count Lugana, and it's a very different color way. And I even changed up the pattern. My friend Donna and I were talking about it, and she came up with the idea of, instead of making it a pillow going this way, because I said I was thinking I would make it a pillow, she said, why don't you make it a pillow going down and put the lettering underneath? And I started to do that. And when I got ready to do that, I pulled the color, and it was this gold color. And I said, you know what? I don't think I want to have this big container right here and then have gold all the way to the bottom. It just was too much gold. And so Donna and I talked about it, and we decided I was going to do the Sweet Land of in the blue to keep it coming down, and then to pick up this beautiful red and do Liberty in the red. So that's what I did. I'll drop this down a little bit so you can see more of the fabric, but I think that's quite pretty. So guess what? That means I had a finish. I got to clap the hands at the retreat for finishes. So let me show you what I'm talking about. At the table, or in our bag, all of us had these little hands, and when there was a finish, you would hold up your finish, and your table mates would start the clapping. I'm doing it lightly. It can get really loud. And when you get a whole room doing this, it is really loud. So we did our little clapping hands for every finish, and so I've got mine. So now this is ready. This is ready to be fully finished. I'm excited about that. And was tickled to death to have a finish at the retreat. Had not planned that at all. Had no clue. So that's the progress. That's the stitching progress. I hope you've had a great weekend of stitching. It was odd not getting to talk with you during the retreat. I didn't film anything while I was there, but I did get some pictures. So I'll pop a couple of pictures in. I've got a picture of my friend Donna and my friend Dee together. I've got a picture of Lori and I together. I hope to be able to put in pictures of all my table mates. We'll see if I can get those in there. There is also a picture of all of us, and I'll see if I can get that and put that in here for you. But I wanted to be in the moment. It's the first time I've been to that retreat. There were some people there that I knew I wanted to meet, and some people there I wanted to see. And flatteringly, there were people there who wanted to meet me, and I didn't know that. So I got really tickled. My friend Donna actually said that she and I swapped roles this weekend. Normally, I stitch like crazy at a retreat. I just sit and stitch and talk to the people at the table or people that stop by, but I'm just stitching away because I'm so excited to have people to stitch with. And my friend Donna is a social butterfly. She goes around and talks to everybody and sees what they're working on and just visits and has a wonderful time, but hardly gets any stitching done. Her philosophy is she can stitch at home. She can't visit with people at home, so she'd rather talk to you while she's with you, which I think is a great philosophy. But this weekend, it was a little different. I hadn't been there, and I knew there were people I wanted to see and meet, and so I made a point to get up and go and talk to some people. And it was funny because Donna sat and stitched. She had been there before. She had met most of the people there and was comfortable, and she was talking to a lot of people around at our table and the next table, but she was working hard because guess what? Donna was working on a prompt, and she hit it with I am a needlesmith. She was working really hard on that one. And then she did the 3 and 3 as well, 3 new starts. So that those 3 hours we were both sitting and stitching. But it was funny because she said some people would come by the table and say, "Where's Dina?" And she'd say, "Around here somewhere," which is unusual for me. I think it was funny, that we just did the opposite. Both of us did opposite what we normally do and never even discussed it. It just happened. It was fun. So we've had a great trip, and now I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'll come back and share it all with you. Happy stitching, everybody. Here's Coco playing ball by herself in the front yard. Dad's bringing up the trash cans.
Now she's got to where she can't let go of one because of the other one. Are you tired now? Run a few times, catch your breath.